Hello friends, good evening and welcome back to my channel once again. Today I'm here with you all to share another video explaining about the pros and cons of the Interceptor 650. So before we jump into the video, I believe that all of you are staying safe and staying at home. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's now jump into the video. Okay, first let's talk about the pros of the Interceptor 650, and the first thing that strikes my mind is the pricing of this bike. I believe that there isn't any such bike which comes under 3 lakhs, and that is the major reason I'm impressed with the Interceptor 650. So yeah, the aggressive pricing of this bike was one of the major reasons I opted for the Interceptor 650. Okay, moving on, the next plus point of the Interceptor 650 would be the riding quality and the comfort it offers compared to the Continental GT. I did not go for Continental GT because it is more of a cafe racer type, whereas if you see the Interceptor 650, I was always wanted to buy a tourer bike, and that's where if you see the riding posture and the comfort this offers is really good, and I would say that is a plus point of the Interceptor 650. Okay, the next positive thing about the Interceptor 650 is the look and design, and I really feel that Royal Enfield has they have done their homework on this a lot, and have really offered more of a modern and a retro look. So it really made me impressed, and this is something which is very eye-catchy when you drive it on the road. So the next good thing about the bike is the power it offers, and at 650cc displacement engine and 47 horsepower, it's a very good bike. And one more thing is that compared to other Royal Enfield out there, this bike you don't feel any vibrations even at higher speeds. So that is also one of the major plus points of the Interceptor 650. Okay, that's all few positive notes about the Interceptor 650, and now let's move on into the cons of the Interceptor. So to start on with, the first thing what I would say is that the heat dissipated from the engine. Since it is a twin engine, and I could really sense a lot of heat when you're taking the bike for a long ride, or especially when you're riding it for more than 1 or 2 hours, or standing at some traffic signals. You can really feel the heat that gets dissipated from the engine into your legs. So that is really uncomfortable, and if you're not wearing any jeans, then it is really uncomfortable for the rider. So yeah, like I said, it's not first of all possible to ride the bike without wearing any jean or full pant, because I tried riding the bike once in shorts, and I got badly injured. So those who are going for the Interceptor or Continental, please keep it in mind that you can ride the bike only wearing a jean or a full pant. Okay, so moving on, the next con would be this pedal right here. I believe that there isn't much gap between the engine and this pedal, and something more could have been done to add a little bit space, because it is really uncomfortable while riding. And likewise, even if you see the footrest at the back, when a pillion rider is sitting, he or she feels really uncomfortable because the gap between the seat and the footrest is very minimum, and within few minutes or some time they can feel the pain in their legs. I don't know, is it because of this exhaust that is being present here? Royal Enfield have decided to put the footrest here, but I believe that they can do something in the future versions of the Interceptor and the Continental, and see that they make this footrest alignment a little bit more proper. Okay, the next con of the Interceptor 650 would be the seats. I'm not quite really fond of the stock seats, because it is a little bit very rigid and hard, and when you're riding for more than 1 or 2 hours, it really gives you a pain in the back. So I would suggest that if someone is going to buy the Interceptor or the Continental, they can either go for the tourer seats, or add a little bit more comfort to the stock seats, or if possible just replace the seats with a tourer seat. That's my suggestion. Okay, the next con of the Interceptor 650 is the tail light. I was not quite impressed with the how the tail light looks. First of all, it is a halogen light and not an LED. And also, if you see this, this one is quite similar to the one that was present in the Continental 535, and they have somehow maintained the same design. And I feel that they could have added something more in this area and have given a more of a classy and a cool look instead of the one that was present earlier. Okay, so moving on, the next con would be this tank cap. What is that when you're going to the petrol bunk, it is you have to remove this entire lid and hold it in your hand and then get the tank filled up. So I do not find this much user friendly, and I did not like it because in my older bikes I used to have this particular lid fixed to the tank, and when I see this, it's really uncomfortable because each time I have to hold it in my hands, and I'm not quite happy about this, and I feel that Royal Enfield can do something about this sooner or later. But still, I believe that one of the major reasons they would have done this would be because they wanted to maintain that retro look, retro fashion. So that's the reason maybe they would have done this. Okay, the next con would be the instrument cluster. The problem with the instrument cluster is, I wouldn't say it as a problem, but what is that Royal Enfield did not offer much detailing into the instrument cluster. It is an analog cluster, that is totally fine because this is more of a modern retro bike, but I feel that they could have provided more detailing into the instrument cluster, because nowadays a lot of bikes, modern bikes, come with a lot of detailing in the instrument cluster. And one more thing is that if you see the fuel indication, I don't know if it's my bike or if it is present in all other Interceptors and Continental GTs out there. This is some problem with the sensor, because sometimes I see the fuel indication prompting me wrong bar indication. So that is something that needs to be fixed, or at least I have to get it fixed from the Royal Enfield. The next con would be this mirrors. Okay, Royal Enfield is offering some touring mirrors. So either if you are planning to buy it, you can install that, because this is quite rigid, and if you see, its dimensions are also very small, and you will not be able to get a proper view of the vehicles that are coming behind you. So that is really uncomfortable when you are riding in the city limits, because it's very difficult to see the vehicle that's coming from behind. So I would suggest either to change these mirrors and replace it with the tourer mirrors in that case. Okay, the last con about the Interceptor 650 is the front headlamps. The problem with this is it is an halogen lamp, and I'm not quite satisfied with this because a lot of bikes nowadays are coming with LED lamps. So I don't know why Royal Enfield went for halogen lamps. So they could at least bring out the LED lamps in the future versions of the Interceptor and the Continental, because one more reason is that a lot of heat gets dissipated from this lamp, and if you are going to touch it after a long ride, you are really going to feel the heat in your hands. Though the design of the lamp, the circular finish, is really nice, I would have been even more happier if they had installed LED lamps for this. So yeah, that's all about the pros and cons of the Interceptor 650. And overall, I would really suggest that this is a superb bike, and if someone is planning to look for any bike under 3 lakhs, then I would really suggest them to go for the Interceptor or the Continental GT. So I hope that you like this video. So if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more such related content. So until then, see you. This is Aravind signing off.